Hello, welcome to the second video. So in this video we'll look for some more PL SQL fundamentals like data types and literals, identifiers. What are they and why they used in PL SQL and what is the purpose of using those. So we'll see slide by slide. Okay. So the today's topic for this tutorial is we'll see some identifiers. What are identifiers? What is the purpose of using those identifiers? And delimiters. What are delimiters? Literals and code commenting, how to comment the code. And there are many ways by which you can comment the code in PL SQL. It's multi-line or single line commenting, so we'll look for those technique as well. And in the end, PL SQL types. What are PL SQL types? How to create some types in PL SQL. These sort of things we'll come to know, plus we will do some practical things also at the end of this video. So moving on to the next slide. What are identifiers? As the name suggests, is the identifier provides a named reference to the PL SQL block. So in the previous video we created one name block, right, in PL SQL, which we called as a procedure, but we gave a name to that so that database or Oracle database know that object name, what is the name of that object, so that it can refer by that name to that object. Okay, so this is as good as name of all we have, right? We have a unique name. So and by the name we are known to everybody. So in the same fashion, these PL SQL objects, whatever PL SQL object we create, we give a named reference to that, so that Oracle database know that object, and that name has to be unique in this programming. Okay, so in other words, it provides the way with which we can name any PL SQL object, such as cursor, package, function, etc. Any PL SQL object we can name it so that Oracle database can refer that name for that object. Okay, so there are some naming convention of identifiers, how to create the name of any PL SQL object. So first naming convention is that name must not contain more than 30 characters. So it is all applicable to all Oracle database. So Oracle database does not allow any object to have name greater than 30 characters. So we must declare any object name with the characters less than 30 only. Second is name must start with letter. It cannot start with a special characters as well as the numerical characters. It must start with a letter. And third one is name cannot contain punctuation, spaces and hyphens. So any name cannot have punctuation, means commas, spaces and hyphens. And name can contain dollar, hash and underscore and any number, as long as they are not the first letter. Okay, so this you will understand in the example given below. So for example, if we create a name for that object like package, my underscore package, so this is a valid name because underscore is not the first letter of the name. Okay, so my underscore package is a valid name. The second is one my underscore package, it's an invalid name because this numeric 1 is at the start of the name, starting letter of the name. That's why it is a invalid name as per the fourth rule. Similarly, hash my underscore package also invalid because of hash being the first letter of the name. And the fourth one is my underscore hash package underscore 1. So in this case we have covered both the things, like hash is not hash and 1, the numeric 1 is not being the first letter of the name, as well as the underscore. So this is the valid name. So in this fashion you can create any object name which called as an identifier for that object. Suppose if I am creating a create or replace procedure, my procedure, and then as following by all the declare and declarative and execution and exception block. So when we compiled that object will store in the database with a name reference of my underscore package. So Oracle database will uh, refer that object with that name only. Okay. So these are the identifiers. Moving on to the next slide. So what are special characters and identifiers? Okay, special characters. They are reserved words for Oracle to do some operations. Okay, there are some reserve word kept by Oracle for its internal operations. Okay, so all special characters are special words which is reserved to do different tasks. As of now, we have seen identifiers in the previous slide. Now there are special characters also which Oracle kept for itself for internal operations. For example, if you see plus, minus, asterisk, and slash, you cannot use these characters for any purpose, right? Otherwise, it will if you use it, then it will consider Oracle will consider as a mathematical operation. So you cannot use these characters for declaring any variable or declaring any uh, identifier. Okay, similarly greater than, less than, combining both, equal and exclamation mark and equal are also used as relational operators. We in PL SQL we use this character for comparing two string or two numbers. Okay, so these also you cannot use. Ampersand is used an attribute indicator with type, row type, and no found, not found. This is cursor attribute. Will come to know about this attribute, attributes later uh, sections. So this similarly, this is also a special character. You cannot use these special characters while creating any uh, variables or identifiers or any name of any PL/SQL object. So these are reserved words. And for more information, there is a link given at the end of this video. You can go through that link and you can uh, you can come to know about all the reserved words, all the identifiers for Oracle. Okay, some coming on to literals. What are literals? Literals are characters, string, number, boolean, and date slash time with values not represented by identifier. So literals are simply if we skip identifiers, if we skip special characters, so what left is literals. Like literals are characters, string, number, boolean, and date time. So if you see the characters, the example, and any characters, any single character in quotes. So for example, we have written quote in p between two quotes. So this is a single character. Similarly, the string, if you see any string, all alphanumeric characters, special characters in quotes. So for a string, any alphanumeric string, any string with a special character also, if that string is between two quotes, then it is a string. The Oracle will treat as a constant value, constant string value. Similarly, number can be divided into integer values and real values. So number, integer value is only a whole number, can be positive or negative. Okay, and example is like 1000. You can define the 1000, 5 minus 1000, and so on. So here we have only taken the whole words only for integer values. On the other hand, there are real values also. Okay, it can have decimal value also. The real values can be positive and negative, same as of integer value. Example, you'll come to know about the difference between these integer value and real values with the help of example. So you see example here, 1000 is also a real value, integer value, but 5.1 is only a real value, not an integer value, because it's not a whole word. Similarly, minus 1000.02 and so on. This is a part of real value. Also, you'll come to know, you have seen these type of real values like 3.24 e plus 5. So it represent in Oracle 3.25 multiplied by 10 to the power 5. Okay. Similarly, 3.24e minus 5, it would represent 3.25 has multiplied by 10 to the power minus 5. So all these are real values. Integer values will always be a whole number, and string is a anything which is in between two quotes, and that it can be any alphanumeric string with a special character, with numeric only, with characters only. It doesn't matter as long as it is a in between uh, single quotes. Okay, so these are characters, string and number, and in the next slide we'll come to know the boolean. So boolean literals has only three values, either true, false or null value. Okay, if you have defined any variable as a literal type boolean, right? So it will only have true value, either true value, false value or a null value. Similarly, date has two type of categories, date and timestamp. If you have defined some variable as a date type, so it will only contain the date type, date part, not the timestamp part. On the other hand, if you have defined a variable with a timestamp, then it will also have the time part. As you can see in the example also, date 12 date variable will always have only the date part, which 12 Jan 2019. On the other hand, if we define a timestamp value, then it will also have the time part in addition to the date part. So these are literals. Okay, so for a summarize, we have five type of literals: characters, string, number and boolean. Characters is a single character in between two quotes. String is a combination of letters, alphanumeric string in between two quotes. Number can be divided into real values and integer values. Integer values will be whole number only, can be negative and positive. Example you can see. On the other hand, the only difference between real and integer value is that real value can have decimal part. On the other hand, integer value can't. And boolean will always have true values or false values or null values. Similarly, date and timestamp. Date will always have a date value and timestamp will have a timestamp value as well, along with the date part. Okay, so coming on to the code commenting part. Code commenting can be done in single line as well as in multi-line. So if you have code commenting is very useful when you have written a very huge amount of code and you don't want to delete any line or any portion of the code. Rather, you would go with code commenting part. So code commenting is that Oracle PL SQL interpreter just skip those lines. It will not try to interpret or compile those lines which are commented. It will treat as a normal thing. It will not even go to those lines. Okay, so these are two techniques of how to do the code commenting in PL SQL. What is single line commenting and what is second is multi-line commenting. So single line commenting is simply can be done with the help of hyphen characters. So in any line, instead of we'll see how to comment in when we do the practicals. But as of now, you just remember that with a combination of hyphen characters, right? Double hyphen characters, you can comment a single line. Okay, if you add double hyphen at the starting of every line, then that line will become as a comment. Similarly, the multi-line commenting is done by the following: slash, forward slash, asterisk in the beginning, and asterisk forward slash in the end, and whatever you write in between those tags, those two tags, this is one tag and this is another tag, whatever you write in between, as I have written here, whatever write whatever you write in between, this will treat as a Oracle will treat those lines as a comment. It will not try to compile those lines. You can write anything, and code commenting is very necessarily when you are writing a very complex logic and you want to write some description about the logic, like what is this logic is achieving as a business point of view, right? If I am writing a logic, as a complex logic some uh, to derive some business unit of a customer of that range of EMEA group or APAC group, okay, with the help of some different logic. So you can write before a code starts in commenting that this is the below is the logic to derive that business unit of these reason based on the logic. You can add some brief description of what you are going to write in your logic, so that if third person come and see your code, and while looking at the commenting section, he will come to know that what you have written in the logic. Instead, he so it will save his time also while going through each line code and do his assumption that this code would have been written for to achieve this logic. Okay, so this is very crucial for if you are writing a very complex logic. Okay, now we'll see the PL SQL types. What are the PL SQL types? Okay, so there are categorically there are four types of PL SQL types. One is scalar. Second is reference, which are like ref cursor or cursor variable or ref, and composite type is collection, record, or any kind of collection you want to create, that will come under composite type. And LOB is character lob and blob. Will these all are the advanced feature of PL SQL, LOB and composite. So we'll see when we actually read about collections and LOB. So as of now, you just have to remember the naming, what type of PL SQL types are there in the PL SQL, which is scalar, reference, composite, and LOB. And as of now, you must remember the scalar part only. In scalar part, as we have already seen when we were discussing literals, like scalars are four types: character, string, number, date, and boolean. So all the types, like data variables, whatever we want to declare in a declarative section in PL SQL, we can declare it as a scalar part. Like character, we can define a character, or a string, we can define a variable of string type. Number type we can define, date type we can define, and boolean type we can define. Okay, and we have already seen what type of values they all can have. Okay, references is also very crucial for a PL SQL, because it gives us the ability to to declare a variable of ref cursor type variable. It gives us the ability to define ref cursor type variable, okay, and reference. Ref is just a reference to the object instance, and which gives PL SQL as an OOP capability, object oriented capability. So this is also advanced feature of PL SQL, where we come to know about this feature when we go on to the advanced step where we learn about objects in PL SQL. So these feature is very handy over there. And composite is again collection and record. This is also very crucial for advanced PL SQL programming. How you can define a variable of type collection. In collection there are further categories like V arrays or associative arrays or records or nested tables. So all these are advanced level. So as of now you just remember scalar, that's it. Okay, so I have given, because in this video there are a lot of theoretical, you have to learn about literals, what type of different type of literals, identifiers, and data types. You can go through this link. This is a docs Oracle document link. You can find all these fundamental things in this link in more detail, so that you come to know about theoretical part very well. Okay, so we'll do some practical thing. Okay, now we'll see how to define variables and how we can assign some values to those variables. So here we are in the same SQL Developer Editor, where we can write the code, and you can easily download this SQL Developer from Oracle site. Okay, this is free. Set server output on as usual, just to view the output in the script output detail here. Now, as I have already told you that if you want to declare something, then you must have the declarative section with the keyword this. So this is the entire PL SQL block. Now, suppose I want to declare one type character. So I have declared L underscore character as a local variable for this PL SQL block, and the data size, the size of this variable will be only one character. Okay, and string varchar2. This varchar2 is basically defined for a string in PL SQL, but it can also use for defining a single character also. But there is a small difference between character and varchar2 that we'll see on later videos. So there is a minor difference between char and varchar2. Okay, and this again, this one is the length of this L char, and L string is the length of 500 character, 500 bytes. If you don't give anything here, then PL SQL will Oracle database will store this variable as a byte in byte. If you can give here character, then it will store as a character value. I'm storing in a byte, and L number type L boolean type. Okay, while While declaring all these variables, you can initialize these variable as well. Like here, if I want to initialize this L boolean with a true value, then in this way, this is the assigning operator in PL SQL. With this operator, you can assign any variable values. Like suppose here I am assigning one string which is called John. Okay. Now in declarative section, we are done with the declarative section. We have defined four type of variables in our declarative section. One is character, string, number, and boolean. Okay, we left date. Let's define the date as well. Date. Okay, this is the date. If you assign a date, there is a small trick in it. If you want to initialize this date variable, so you can assign in this way also. It will not give you any error, but it will store as a string in the database. Or if you want to compare, then it will treat as it will not give 100% date functionality to this variable. It will act as a string. Okay, but to give this value in a date format, you have this function in the PL SQL where any string you can give, that string can be converted into the date format. If I am giving here the format, we'll understand this function also in the detail, but as of now you just remember that in the date variable, in this fashion we have to assign a value. What it does is, it is asking for a parameter of string type, or argument of string type, sorry, not parameter, it's argument of string type, and we have to tell this function that in what format this string has to be converted. Okay, that format has to be a valid date format. So as of now I have converted this value as a ddmonYY. So I am telling the Oracle that treat this date in this format. Okay, so this is the date I am providing in this format. Okay, now I'm simply printing the name values. Okay, character value is lchar. You can similarly okay, string value is lstring, number value is lnumber. We are simply concatenating the values whatever we have assigned. Boolean and date. Boolean and date. Okay, now let's see what it gets print. Okay, there is one error, PL SQL compilation error. Lstring. Okay, date value is this is giving some error. Let's okay, maybe somehow it is giving with this error. Yes. Okay. It is giving the error because this boolean value cannot be concatenated with the string values. Okay. So these parameters should be equal. Whatever you are concatenating should be matching the data type. So this is the string type, this is a character type, and this is a boolean type. But these number can be concatenate with the string because this is you know automatic cast. Oracle internally cast these number to a string value. Okay, which we called implicit casting. So we'll also, this is also a feature of Oracle PL SQL. Will understand this feature also, what is implicit casting and what is explicit casting. So as of now it was giving error because this is a string and this is a boolean, so you cannot concatenate boolean value to a string value. Now if you look at the output, this is the anonymous block which we created. Okay, so the output is character value is lchar. As you can see here, I did not assign any value to this character, that's why it is null, so nothing is printed here. String value is John, so the John, this variable I have assigned to a value called John, so this is printed. Number also is null because I haven't assigned any value here while creating this variable, and this is boolean, so this has not got printed. And date also, this is 20 Jan 19. So what I will do is I will assign these values L character L. I can assign values in the execution section. Okay, and now L. Now you can see the character value is P, string value is John, number value I have assigned to 1 to 3, date value is 1 to 20 Jan 19. Okay, so in this way you come to know about two parts. In declarative section, not only you can declare variable, you can also assign some values or initialize those variable in a declarative part section itself. But if you haven't done in a declarative section, so you cannot, you also can do the same in a execution section. Okay, assigning of any variable can be done in execution section as well. It is not subjected to only declarative section, it can also valid in execution section. Okay, so in this fashion you can create and assign values to the PL SQL types, which are scalar types. Actually, this is the only the practical thing which we have done is for scalar type only, which includes character, string, number, boolean and date. Okay, the composite part we'll see when we read about collections and the advanced part. Okay, so in this video you can learn the literal identifiers and PL SQL types in Oracle, and that's it. Okay, so two more types we left. Now we'll see what is percent types and percent row type variable. This is a strong way of defining any variable in a PL SQL, person type and person row type. What person type does is it anchor a variable to the database table column name. So if we define a variable of a person type, okay, so that will anchor that variable to a particular database column name. So we have to define, while defining that variable, we have to properly define or tell Oracle that this variable will be anchored to this table column name. Okay, how to do that we'll see in a practical portion. And the second is row type. Similarly, the person row type anchor the variable to a database table row. The entire table row it will anchor. Okay, anchor means it will show, or it will entitle to a complete row. Like with that single variable we can access the value of a complete row. Okay, this is a percent row type. Okay, how to do that and how it works we'll see in a practical portion. Okay, let's do this. Okay, in a previous portion in a PL SQL block. Okay, so this I have defined these two variables as employee. I have created a one employee table here. Okay, employee ID, EMP name and phone number. This is the employee table I have created. Okay, so and I have also entered one value is John in this table. Okay, so if you see, you will find one row. Okay, now I have anchored this LEMP ID is a local variable to this PL SQL block to the employee ID column. So whatever definition, whatever data type is for this employee ID will now automatically the type of this employee ID, LEMP ID. So if it is a varchar 2, then the type of this LEMP ID also will become varchar 2. Similarly, employee ID, I have anchored this variable to the employee table row, the entire row. Okay, so how to access the data from LEMP ID and employee. So from LEMP ID it's very simple. Okay, so I just created a type of type employee ID dot emp id. Okay, there is no complexity here, but the complexity here in this thing where I have anchored this variable L underscore employee to the entire employee table row. So how to access that value? Okay, suppose you are getting all the values, all rows, okay, to this employee employee from employees. Okay, now you are getting the entire rows from from employee table to employee table, and now you are just fetching how to access a particular column value is with this fashion. Employee, which is this variable name, dot emp name, whatever the column name. So employee name dot emp name would contain the employee name only. Okay, now if I want to print the employee ID, I can simply write employee ID. Okay, now if I ID employee phone. Okay, This row type is also comes under collection type variable, because this is a collection type. This it collect the entire row in a single variable, so it is also a collection type variable. Now if you run this query, see here, employee name is John, employee ID is 11, employee phone number is 2345, and from where these values are coming, I did not assign these values here in a, neither in declarative section nor in execution section, but it is the functionality of row type variable which tags a particular variable to a database table row. So with this line, this L underscore employee has been tagged to this employee table row, and we are fetching the data from this select statement, and we are storing all the fetch rows into this variable and fetching one by one values like this. So this is the convention, this is the normal or regular convention how to access a particular column name from that row type variable is would be like this, variable name dot emp name. Emp name is the column of that table. You see here, these are the column name, employee ID, emp name, phone number of employee, and I am fetching exactly the same column name. Okay, so in this fashion you can create a all the variables like percent type or percent row type. Okay, so that were the two things which I left previously. Now I have included these two types also, because these are very important and these are very essential to know for a PL/SQL programming point of view, how to define a percent type and a percent row type variable, because it will give you ease of writing any programming language. Okay, because you have to write a very small code, less line of code when you are using percent row type. Otherwise, imagine if you are not using this percent row type and you have to fetch all the columns values in this particular PL/SQL block, then in that case you have to define that many variables equal to the number of column in that table and assign the values one by one, and then fetch and print those values. So it gives us a very ease uh, for writing a code perspective. Okay, I think we are done with the all the types, PL/SQL types, literal and identifiers, and in the next video we'll see more feature of PL/SQL. Thanks for